Hello everyone, I'm Palest Blue, but you can all call me Harry. Today we've got kill confirmed on Bakaara. I want to begin by discussing this map really. It's one of the more tricky maps I find in Modern Warfare 3, and it's one of the few maps on which a sniper is a viable option, but you'll see here I go for the rapid fire P90, which I've really enjoyed using. It's a particularly good gun, spews out bullets at a very quick rate. But snipers can predominate on here, and as you'll see, the teammates who run ahead of me there are both using the sniper, and I pick up a sniper and do some work with it later on in the game. So, whereas usually I recommend if you're going for really good gameplay to start off by using an assault rifle or an SMG. In this I'd kind of reverse, or certainly say that this map is an exception to the rule, in that you can do well with a sniper on this map in the way that you probably wouldn't do it on other maps, or certainly you can do it easier. Certainly with the long sight lines, certainly the buildings which have quite high, often have second floors, all that really favours snipers. But as you see, I'm using the submachine gun here, and often in maps that favour snipers, subs can be a nice counter to that. If you think about Block on COD 4, that's a map that really allows snipers nice vantage points, but also allows submachine gun users, especially those who are prepared to rush and to really get up in the face of the enemy. You can be rewarded if you use a submachine gun in that instance, because snipers obviously don't really have the same sort of defense against you that assault rifles might. So certainly submachine guns can be a nice foil to the snipers on your team. It can be a nice counter to the snipers on the enemy team, but you've got to play it smartly. And as you will see in this game, I'm trying to play intelligently, and I'm trying to use I've mentioned a lot the patrolling tactic, and I kind of want to continue that theme ever so slightly here. I just really want to mention that I am patrolling again. But in the past I've done all my patrolling in free-for-alls. Here I'm patrolling in a kill-confirmed game. It's still effective because it's a kill-death mode really. You're not trying to move for objectives. Patrolling becomes pointless when you're playing something like Domination or Capture the Flag, where you really need to move towards different objectives to win the game. In this you can patrol an area and let enemies come to you. And as you'll see, I pretty much stick to this side of the map, this quarter of the map again, for really the whole game, and certainly I pick up most of my kills around this side. I do move about, but I predominate in this area. As you can see, I'm taking out people just by really moving around. I kind of got a bit of a route that I'm doing. It's kind of a lap. It's something I hadn't worked out before the game, but it's something that I've done. Anyway, I want to talk a little bit about my weapon choice here as well. And also perk choices, I suppose. As I say, I've used the P90 rapid fire, which I have tried in the past and haven't had a great deal of success with. I had a couple of games with it today where I was really impressed with it, however. So this is the thing with the gun. Sometimes you can have a really good day with a gun, sometimes you can have a bad day with a gun and end up with two completely different impressions of it. As all of the rapid fire submachine guns, it takes down enemies at close range really quickly. It's usable at medium range as well, but you have to be careful. You don't want to rely on medium range gunfights. If you are going to be playing on a submachine gun on a map where you're planning to pick more medium range gunfights, the MP7 is probably a better choice. While we're talking about submachine guns, rapid fire, and in the MP7, there's something interesting to note, that rapid fire doesn't give you the same bonus on the MP7 that it does on the other submachine guns. On the UMP, the P90, the PP90, and all the other submachine guns, it gives you a 25 rapid fire, gives you a 25% increase in your rate of fire. But on the MP7, it only gives you a 10%, so that really makes you question whether it's worth using rapid fire on it. Although I've used rapid fire on the MP7 in the past, I now use range, and I use it unsilenced as well. I find that's really effective, and gets me some nice kills where I wouldn't otherwise. I've also been thinking about my strike chain. In the past, and certainly in my last Modern Warfare 3 video, so I get nice assisted suicide there. I think the guy grenades himself after I've hit him, so I get credited with the kill. Anyway, I was mentioning in my last video that certainly the setup that uses sitrep, steady aim, and then dead silence is an effective one for submachine guns, and that's kind of changed here. I'm using sleight of hand as my first perk, but then scavenger as my first perk in the strike chain that I get 2 kills. This is because I feel that I need scavenger earlier than 6 kills when I was getting it before. In my previous setup, I'd have scavenger as my 6th kill reward, but here I have it as my second one because I found I was running out of ammo earlier. And I also like to have sleight of hand from the beginning, so that kind of ruled out using scavenger as a starting perk. So then after Scavenger, I pick up Steady Aim, which is really good for submachine guns and really good in general. I actually really like it for its... So, I mean, some might see it as a secondary use, but I think of it as a primary use. And as you can see, I'm starting to go to work with the snipe here. I'll pick out a few more kills with that later on. But I like it for a secondary purpose, which is being able to shoot after sprinting. Often when you die in this game, if you really think about it, and certainly for me, I find I sprint quite a lot. And something I do well in this game, having observed it and looked at it back, is I don't sprint too much. I do sprint, but not in dangerous situations. And certainly sprinting into people gets you killed, because it takes time to start shooting after you've finished sprinting, to put it quite simply. So Sleight of Hand cuts down that time, and Steady Aim Pro cuts down that time. And you'll find it much. You find you have more success when sort of running into people who you didn't expect to be there. Also, I'm using Stalker. Again, I like this for the mobility. I find it off-putting on assault rifles though, when I'm trying to do precise long-range shooting. On submachine guns, however, I find it throws me off less, because you already have really good mobility down the sights on submachine guns, so you're kind of used to sliding about a bit more with your aim. And also, obviously, you're shooting at shorter distances and shorter ranges, so you don't have to be quite as precise. So I've really enjoyed using this specialist setup that I've got here in this game. I also wanted to talk a bit about something else I did well, or at least I feel I did well in this game, or something that allowed me to succeed, which is using the sniper and using it with the submachine gun. As you can see, I'm switching between them a lot, and obviously Sleight of Hand Pro, which allows you to switch between weapons quickly, helps me out a lot in this instance. Whenever I'm looking out into a long-range sort of area, I try to use, or certainly a range that's beyond the P90, I pick out that sniper and I go for a shot. But you also see that I don't tend to linger on my shots for too long. If I take a shot and miss, in this game I tend to move away. This is partly because of the sniper threat that I mentioned earlier. If you start taking too many shots from the same place, other snipers and just other players in the map are going to see your red dot and they're going to come and target you. Part of the point of patrolling, which as I say I'm doing now, is that when your red dot appears, you're gone from that spot pretty much as quickly as you came. So you can shoot in one spot, and then when people are going back there to revenge kill you, you've already moved on. So you want to patrol, even with a sniper, you don't want to be too static. There are claymores obviously, but you've only got a limited amount. I believe you only get one in this game. In Modern Warfare 2 you could just keep replenishing with Scavenger, and a lot of people did that, and that allowed you to sort of static snipe. But what's been called in the past, and what was historically always called mobile sniping, so that's moving around with your sniper and picking up kills by sort of moving aggressively around the map in a way that you wouldn't expect a sniper to. That's pretty much become the standard sort of way of sniping now, and it never was that way. So bear that in mind. Think about moving even when and patrolling even when you're a sniper, even if that's just in a much smaller area. Obviously, you're able to be more mobile with a submachine gun. There I pick up my Moab. Definitely wasn't going for Moab this game, but it's a pleasant surprise. Gone to pick up a few more kills, as you'll see. Something else to bear in mind when you're picking up secondary weapons such as a sniper is the speed sort of change that it will have on you, like your movement speed. Whereas with a submachine gun in this game, you get sort of pretty much full movement speed. When you pick up a sniper, you're going to slow down a lot, and actually if you were to watch the beginning of the game, I pick up a sniper right away, a different sniper to the one I have here, and that really slows me down, so I go back and I pick up my pistol. Don't know if you remember that, but as I say, you can go back and check. I did that simply because I valued the sort of range, even the speed really of the submachine gun over having the ability to snipe people. But when I got to Specialist, your speed increases because you get the speed proficiency, so therefore I was able to use the P90, pick up a sniper and still maintain really good speed around the map. As you can see, I've moved to a different area just slowly, but I'm still being careful and trying not to sprint through too many doorways. As I say, I do a bit of sprinting, but usually when I'm sprinting it's because I'm sure there's no one coming, and actually as you can see I rounded that corner with my sights up because I saw an enemy coming. In fact, that's something I've done quite a lot more recently, moving around corners with sights up. It's really effective. If you watch a lot of the top players, the professional players, that's the sort of thing that they do. They'll sort of pre-aim right around the corner as they move. It does give you a bit of an advantage coming around corners as well, because you have a slight, just not even necessarily a sort of a connection advantage. You have, you know when you're coming around the corner, whereas if there's someone waiting for you, that person probably doesn't. So if you're going around with your sights up, you're not wasting time going around the corner, spotting someone, and then putting your sights up. You've already got the sights raised, and you're literally just sort of strafing around the corner into your enemy. Pick off a nice shot there. That's part of the reason why the sniper was very effective to me in this game. I was able to take out enemies at that distance a little bit more effectively than I would otherwise. Anyway, the game is winding down now. I have a few more gameplays to come, as always. I'm just listening to people right now. I mean, a lot of the kills I've got in this game have been just... you might have wondered how I knew that someone was there. Well, there's no magic involved. It's simply a case of using sitrep, which I mentioned in my last video, and hearing them. And that's a tactic that I use in, a lot now. And as I say, in future videos that you should see from me, and certainly videos from the past, a lot of the reason why I know where people are is because of that ability to hear them, which I get from the headset, and in this game from using sitrep Pro. Anyway, this is right at the end of the game. Final kill right there. That's going to be in the final kill cam. We don't actually get all of the tags, but we still win comfortably. It's quite a slow game, and I suppose that's why I was able to put up 46 kills. But as I say, there's the end of it. Thanks a lot for listening, everyone, and I will speak to you all later.